Hi guys, welcome to my Flosstube. I'm somewhere different. I've been here before, but yeah, I'm in somewhere different today, and I've currently got good light, and hopefully everything will work nicely and you'll be able to hear me properly and everything. So, hello, my name's Emily. I'm here to talk about cross stitch, and I've had a good week of cross stitch. I want to say not as much as last week, but yesterday night I did a storming amount of stitching, and I did 2100 stitches yesterday, I think 2166 stitches yesterday, so I caught myself up. Right, so I have worked on the same 4 projects. This whole planning and having just the few projects is working out really well for me at the moment. I'm gonna go with it and stick with it for now. Yeah, so I have 2 full coverage pieces, the Buffy Threads kit and an ink circles to show you today, and I'm getting along. Right, I'm going to start with my treasure hunt bookshelf, which last Flosstube video, which was last Thursday, a bit later in the day. It's nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon. In the UK, 4 o'clock in the afternoon is currently still quite light. We're getting there on the slightly longer days. Right, so yeah, last week my treasure hunt bookshelf looked like this. I will grab a screenshot or something, and I've only put in 951 stitches this week, and it currently looks a bit like that. So I've put in some stitches here. What I'm doing is I'm going this way along this shelf here, and I put in some, this was all 317, I filled in a little bit here. Hopefully you can see a bit of a difference, but it's not even 1,000 whole stitches, so that's coming along. But while the light's really good, let's have a look. Should we have a look at it while the light's good? So I probably need to move the Q-snap a little bit anyway. So, oh yeah, look at this with this light. That's how we're looking at the moment. That's 9.2%. So I've only done a 0.2 for the month. So still got quite a good chunk to go. So this month I'm just going to be working here, in this section here, a little bit. So there's my treasure hunt bookshelf. I'm just going to go that way a little bit, so when we get to May, I've got a bit of a starter for the bit I want to do in May, which is as much as I can. So I did 8,221 stitches in the last 7 days. I've only done about 100 stitches today, and I haven't counted them. I count from the beginning of Thursday to the beginning of Thursday for my week, because I record on a Thursday. Treasure hunt bookshelf. I will plodge on with this week. Get on, do a bit more. Well, I need to get on because I've still got 0.8% to go. Okay, so the only other one I've got that hasn't progressed very much is the Buffy Threads 12 Days of Christmas kit, which I'm doing for my mum for Christmas this year. So I'm still plodging on with number 1. What I did do was find one of my 11 by 11, so it's no longer in the hoop because I don't like the marks hoops leave. I don't, even if I leave this in a Q-snap for a year, it doesn't mark like a hoop marks. So that was just a needs must in the hoop there. So I've still put in bits of gold. There's more gold here. I've still got to finish the border and this twiddly bit there and that twiddly bit there and the point of the 1. I will get this done about the next week, but I have started number 2. It's all this very limey green colour so far, but I have at least started number 2. When I've completely finished number 1, I'm going to add on the stitches for the whole block in one go, because I am keeping an annual stitch count this year. So there's number 1. It looks really nice in this light. yeah, that's about the right kind of colour. And I've just started number 2, just done a couple of rows. It's about 3 or 4 lengths of thread only that's gone into this. I did a couple of strands of gold this morning, that's why my needle's been pulled out of that, because I didn't have the pattern to hand, but I had the gold, so I thought, right, I'll do some gold while I'm sitting here. So I won't get them all on this piece of 14 count, but it's 18, it's 16 or 18 count. I will find more and it will be the same when I need to do the rest, but that'll be October, November time that I'll need extra. So there's my Buffy threads. If I've got a picture of where it was last week, I'll pop it up, but it hasn't changed that much, but I have started the second one and I'll plodge on with that. Now the 2 that I have made, astonishing in my opinion progress. Let me just pull back to last Thursday. Are Shooting Star, which last week on Thursday was sitting at 58.5% and looked like this. This week on Thursday, it looks, I think, quite different. It is now at 67%, and it now looks like that. Ooh. And yeah, it looks like that. That's better. I said last week, didn't I? I'm going to try and go right across the top so I know where I am on the top. Well, I've gone right across the top. There's my only gap there, which is white stitching. It matches this side, so it will be white, but it's not filled in yet. But other than that, that whole top bit's pretty much there. So I've got just a chunk here to go. Can I get it done? Can I get it done? I need to do, I think, 700 stitches a day. Yesterday, I did 615 stitches in Shooting Star. And in the course of the last week, I've put 3,402 stitches into this. It's very easy to stitch on it. They're lovely little neat stitches. It's 20 count Ada, and they're lovely little neat stitching. I'm using 1 strand of DMC. I'm finding that my thread is shredding quite a lot, which is quite unusual and weird. That's just pulled off. Look, it's floofy. That's just pulled off there, rather than, which is quite odd. I'm just trying to, there we go. It's just pulled off on me. I'll be finding it's doing that. I don't know whether the Ada is harsh or, I don't know why. It is just, it's a little bit shreddy. Now I've lost my extra leg. Ah, that'll be where it just fell off there. Right, there's my extra leg. Right, but I've done a few stitches on this today. A hole filled in these 4 tiny little triangles here today, just while I was waiting in the car. So that's come along quite well, and it's now there, and we'll see where it is next week. It's looking good. 67%. So last week it was at 50. Last week it was at 58.5, and this week it's at 67. 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 67. Ooh, that's quite a big chunk. That's quite a big chunk. But even if I did 10% a week, that would only take me 70, 80, 90. It might roll into March. It might roll into March. Now my last piece, I've put the most stitches into this week. I have put 3,868 stitches. This is really good, strong, clampy thing. Into this week. This is Castle Walls, which is an ink circles pattern. I find ink circles are very like Carolyn Manning Designs. You visit the website at your peril because you are more than likely to purchase and download patterns. So last week, Castle Walls looked like this here and was at 35%. crikey. It's now at 49.5%, and it currently, today, until I stitch on it, looks like this. Crikey, look, there it is. So, isn't it wonderful? Oh, I've got a I've just realised I can see a gargoyle here. Look, he's on, turn him that way. Look, there must be a matching pair of them. Look, there's a little gargoyle with little ears here. I've only just seen him. Oh, that's glorious. So I did remember it had some stains on it, and there was also a mark here, hence why this bit's been stitched. I scrubbed what I thought was probably blood off it, it's down here, and the mark there. Now the mark there, and then I put it under the hot light at work, you know, when you plate up food and there's like stainless steel place, you put the plates on and the lights above. It dries tea towels in like 10 minutes, so I thought, right, okay, it's obviously going to dry this just as quickly. So I gave it a quick scrub and I put it under the lights to dry, and it came out really well. The bloody mark came out completely, or whatever, it just looked like dried blood to me. And this mark here was left with like a greasy little circle, so I filled in the stitching over it, and I think now I am happy with it because I can no longer see it. So that's good, because this is best part full coverage. It's not quite full coverage, it's more full coverage than a lot of long dogs. But this, as I say, this is an ink circles, and I'm really loving it. Very, very easy to stitch on with it being Ada, and yeah, 3,800 stitches in a week on that. So motoringly good progress, coming along well, I think. And I will continue to do, I think this next coming week I will continue to do what I'm doing, which is last night was quite funny for me. I sat and I did about 100 stitches on each piece. I did about 100 stitches on castle walls, 100 stitches on shooting star, 100 stitches on the bookshelf, until the point where I'd done 1,500, and then I'd done slightly more on one or the other. So I was like then picking and choosing which one I did my stitches on. I think I stopped exactly 500 on the bookshelf. Yes, I did exactly 500 stitches on the bookshelf, and I did 1,051 on this yesterday. So I've done lots of stitches. My videos have taken a more succinct thing now, haven't they, where I'm like, this is this, and this is this, and this is this. But anyway, I'm motoring along. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm probably going to carry it through into March. Whether or not I get Shooting Star and Castle Walls finished before March, it will depend how close I am to finishing as to whether I put them away or whether I finish them or push on for a finish. We will see. We will see. Anyway, short and sweet this week, guys. Did go out last Friday to the, I keep wanting to say panic room, but it was an escape room, which would have been better had the people in my group not been quite so inebriated, because we did not escape. We were put in a room that was called the asylum, which was meant to be really frightening, but it actually just got on my nerves because the puzzles were there to be solved, and it was more of a hindrance. So anyway, we did not escape. We got let out after an hour. To be fair, the hour went past pretty quickly. Come up here. I have cats. You can probably see them in the reflection. They're literally lined up. There's one there. And where's Nancy? Is that Nancy? There's two cats sort of giving me the eye. I'm not sure whether they like me yet or not. Anyway, so the meal was very nice. We then went for an Italian meal, and our bosses turned up and paid for everything, which was lovely. Yeah, so all in all, that was quite a nice night. And it worked the next morning. I was just a little needing coffee. I don't think I had a hangover, but I hadn't had any coffee for about 15 hours, and I really needed coffee because, you know me, I drink an awful lot of coffee, and I needed lots of coffee. Nancy, Nance, come near me, which is like, get out of my house. Anyway, I think that's me for today. I'm going to go and get on with my day and do some stitching. And I will see you Thursday next week. Right guys, hope you've all had a lovely week. And my week's been fine. Just going to plodge on, carry on, keep stitching. Same boring pieces next week probably, unless I chuck a new start in. I'm not yet craving a new start, so we'll see how long I can last it out. Okay guys, I will see you next week. Have a good week guys. Bye for now.